Hey guys, it's Teacher Bogey, and I'm back to you with another video. Today, I want to shoot a testimonial video of sorts, and the reason for this is that I've noticed a lot of people on social media talking about low bookings and how the coronavirus pandemic has affected the online ESL market. And well, this is true to some extent, even at First Future, but it's only affected the flexi side of things over here. So I'd like to explain that to people by talking about how my career has progressed in First Future and how things have been changing both on the market and globally, and yet my shifts and more importantly my salaries have remained consistent. So stay tuned if you're maybe frustrated with how things are going on your end. Maybe you want to find a better solution for yourself. Well, I would argue honestly that a fixed shift with First Future would be the right way to go. I first found out about First Future in 2017. I believe it was July. And there was an ad on Facebook that said First Future was offering a fixed shift, a fixed salary for its teachers, and I believe there was also a time frame, like you can work as little as 2 hours a week or like as much as 30 hours a week or something like that. And this was what initially drew me in. So I applied, I passed my interview, I passed my mock class, and I remember expecting to get the hours that I gave as my available hours filled right off the bat. Of course, this did not really happen, as First Future is a B2B provider of English lessons, and so they needed to find a project that they could fit me in and that could fill at least some of my available hours. Well, I didn't have to wait very long. After about 2 or 3 weeks, I was told about a project called Donut English. Donut English was fresh with First Future at the time. They had already rejected a few candidates before because they weren't a good fit for the company. So I was told that myself and 2 other candidates are going to try out for the school next. And we did. They liked us and we got hired. So I started working with Donut in August 2017, and spoiler alert, I worked for them until May 2020. So almost 3 years I have spent working on my very first project. I got Monday to Saturday, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock Beijing time. That clocks to about 18 hours every week. And I was very happy with this. The classes were nice. Not every slot was booked, but every slot was paid for. So that was really something. And I really liked that. I guess my first month, I did maybe like 12, 15 classes in total. Things were only, starting up and stuff. And so we didn't get a lot of work done. We didn't need to, but we were paid nicely, and I really liked that. So I worked with Donut until my next project came along, when I worked with Donut and LC, or Liu Li Shu as the Chinese call it. Teaching LC was like the golden age of English teaching because LC, and I didn't even know this at the time, was giving its students videoless classes, and 99% of said students were adults. So it was a really laid back kind of job that you could do. I was messaged by a person from the company. They knew that not all the available hours that I gave were filled by Donut, and they said, okay, so are you happy with your hours here? Would you like to change something? Would you like to add something? And I said, of course, anything you can give me is perfect, and I'd gladly accept it. And she said, well, there's this project, it's called LC, I'm going to put you on a list, and they're going to call you and stuff. And I was like, yay, super. And this was maybe November or maybe October of 2017. And almost a month had passed. Nobody called me, and I was already giving up on it. And at some point, I get another message from the same person, and she says, okay, we've set you up for an interview. It's going to happen on, I don't know, in a week or something. And So I did the interview. I was prepared for the interview by First Future, and this is another important thing to say, because First Future is basically the intermediary between you and the school. If there is any way that they can help you get hired with the school, they will do that because it helps them and it helps them make money. So I was prepped, and I passed easily. And then I got into the project that filled all of the hours that I had wanted, and I was working about 39 and a half hours per week, more than half of which were video-less classes with adult students. And that was awesome. So LC was my second project, and I stayed with LC from December of 2017 until January of 2019. Unfortunately, in January of 2019, the school decided that they're going to change their business model, that they were going to switch from actual human teachers to AI teachers, and so the project got canceled. But for a good year, myself and about, I think, maybe 50 or 60 or maybe, okay, let's say up to 100 other teachers were working with Lilishu or LC. I'd like to back up a bit here and explain my situation at the time. So I was working 39 and a half hours a week for First Future, and two schools had bought out my available time. One was working 3 hours per day with children, and the other working about 3.5 hours per day with adults. Of all of this time, of all of these slots, maybe I would say on average 70 to 80% were booked. So that means that I was basically free for 1/5 of my available hours and still paid as if I had worked during those hours. And that was awesome. I just had to be available and ready to take on a class if a sub was necessary. So this is one thing that I want to talk about. The other thing that I want to talk about here is that working for two projects can be really tedious, mostly because any kind of leave request needs to be processed by First Future, one school, and then the other school. And sometimes this was not very how do I say this? Well, it didn't really happen instantly. The bureaucracy took some time. But other times, like when I had this one emergency that I want to talk about, everything was instantly arranged, and I got 2 weeks off due to a medical emergency. And I remember being extremely grateful to every party involved, because I knew that there was a lot of gears to turn for this to happen, and everyone involved was really absolutely amazing to the situation. Sorry for the sudden change of pace, but after recording the whole story, I figured out that not everything could fit into just one video. So I decided to make it a two-part video, and if you're interested, you can find part 2 on my channel. Take care and have a very nice day.